Hi everyone, welcome back to this week Weekly Market Update. So let's take a look at what happening on last week on the market itself, as we can experience and see that it's very volatile on Friday itself, where the market actually plunged down and recovered back mostly. A lot of people is thinking that might be due to the Iran war, where there are speculation saying that US has fired missiles over, caused the market to drop. So but however, what is the real underlying reason? We will see during the charting times later. So, but do take note, this is what I shared on last week, which I mentioned things like AMD. We are looking to next support level at around 142, 50% Fibonacci level. We can see that AMD actually experienced a 10% drop on last week itself. Not only on that, the support level for Dow Jones is also well supported around 37,500, 37,000. We will look into the chart to see where will it be go for the coming week as well. Alright, so for the coming week, do take notes. Earnings continue. Alright, so it's actually the kickstart of the technology earnings. Everyone is looking how will the first group of the big tech earnings going to perform, such as like Alphabet, Microsoft, Intel. Of course, there are Coinbase, whereby there's Bitcoin halving, right? And not to forget our Apple shares as well. So a lot of things will be happening. Volatility will continue to surge higher in the coming week. Especially, we can see that the war is continue ongoing with the corporate's earnings, and AMD that has dropped 10% where it stands. All right, so many things to be watch out for the coming weeks as well. So let's recap on last week what happens. Nasdaq fall more than 2%, so mainly due to Nvidia that actually plunged 10% last Friday itself. All right, so though Iran actually came out and said that they are not going to do anything further fight for Israel, but there's geopolitical side. We are just come down to the market side instead. So because of that, if let's say things is going to stabilize, Iran just came out to mentions, right? So the last Friday drop, does it really relates to the geopolitical, or does it mainly due to the uh, big counter Nvidia, the leader of the chip sector, dropped 10%, caused the market to tumble last Friday. All right, so to me, I will feel that it's more on the corporate earnings, it's more on the Nvidia that costed the market. Not only on that, we can see that Netflix actually dropped 9% even after the quarterly earnings beat the top and the bottom line. So why is that so? It's because they mentioned that they will no longer report paid membership starting in 2025. So people will not know where will the demands going on for Netflix if let's say they are not going to report. I think people use this as a reason to actually cut their positions or short the position going forward. All right, but we can see that Nvidia actually slipped 10%, uh, registered the worst day in 2020 March. All right, give me a second. Sorry for clearing my throat. All right, so we can see that this penny, not a penny counter, but a very speculate counter like Supermicro Computer have plunged more than 23%. Though I'm not surprised after all, as we can see that the big leader like Nvidia drops 10%. Definitely those speculating counter will drop even more, right? So don't be surprised. If let's say you have make money from Supermicro Computer, anyway, it's time to profit. Keep the money in the pocket. It has been like searching quite heavily as well. All right, so oil also has spiked more than 3% on the day itself before it recovers, such as like for gold as well. But ultimately, out of the three uh index like Dow, Nasdaq, and S&P, I think Nasdaq is the worst performing, while Dow is not bad on Friday itself if you go into the chart. All right, so Dow actually make a gain of 0.01% for the week, unlike the other two. Alright, so this is what happened on last Friday. Let's take a look from the chart perspective directly. Alright, so this is the chart for Dow Jones as I mentioned on the 6th of April. In the coming weeks, things to watch out for is actually major earnings. But ultimately, I put a downside. I bearish if it can close below the 37,500. I think I said somewhere. Yes, so this is the 14th of April. Support around 37,005 followed by 37,000. Correct or not? So that is what I mentioned last week. Go and watch my video. It's at the YouTube if you have not. Alright, so the price did not break and close below 37,005. Alright, so since it bounced back, as you can see, a couple of stuff is showing the RSI, the well resisted by the Fibonacci. Alright, so unlike Nasdaq, you can see Nasdaq is actually chaotic created by Nvidia. So you can see on the day basis, just down still have some green candle, right? But what you see in Nasdaq, just one big red, strong bearish candle. This is most likely caused by the chip sector, especially from Nvidia itself. Alright, so I'm not surprised. First support we'll be looking at. This is used to be the line. I think it's 16,700. Sorry, 16,700 will be the first support. All right, I used to draw here. All right, there's a reason this line is being drawn. So this is the 21st April 2024. All right, first immediate support 16,700. Okay, so this is my view for Nasdaq. I assume I foresee that it may continue to drop for the coming weeks, especially we can see that the tech earnings is coming out. Alright, the tech earnings is coming out. Hopefully, the price, if let's say drop below 16,700 and it continues search below, the next will be 16,300. If it break below this, used to be a support line, all right, this ascending support line, you will not show a good it's not a good things for it to break below that support line. All right, we may see further buyers on the downside, but we shall see whether this ascending support does hold or not. All right, maybe the earnings report may cause the market to drop, but it may reverse later on. That means just one touch and bounce back. So we not know, but we'll just act on what the chart show us. So first immediate support is at 16,700. Break, close, and break below 16,003. All right, so final support at this ascending, all right, this line which coincide with this 50-day moving average is the 16,300. Okay, so I will put this as a final support then. All right, somewhere around there, fair enough. So before open door to bearish, so it's okay. Alright, so this is what I feel on the Nasdaq itself. Okay, so do watch out if let's say you hold any Nasdaq or you are into Nasdaq trading. Do watch out on the movement next week. Okay, so let's take a look at Nvidia. Okay, so Nvidia have a great drop. Can you see that? Has a huge drop. But not too surprised if let's say you have been in the TA or you know what is going on. You can see that it's actually a supported. We can see that this is actually a descending. Alright. And then this is also a form like a. Alright, so after you break the neckline, after you break the moving average of the 50-day, I'm not surprised with the surge of volume Nvidia. We may see a further downside coming up on the weeks itself. All right, so where is the first support line that we will be looking at? All right, it's up to individual how you can do it. You can use your Fibonacci resistance. You can draw by looking at where is the used to be a resistance level. All right, but for this time round, I will do it once and then I will leave it to you. All right, so for my view, I will be looking at here. Okay, this is my view around 680 to 700. All right, I mean 680 or 700. That is what I'm looking at, the first support level. Okay, for people that may use some Fibonacci level, it's up to you how you want to. Oh, sorry, I got the wrong one. They want to use a Fibonacci level. It's up to you how you want to draw it. Okay, so I can draw here to here, and my next Fibonacci 50% is around here, followed by. Okay, so I am in the spot of close to where I draw just now the line. All right, this is the line, which is around the 38.2%. So if that's the case, I will put it there. Okay, or otherwise we can look at 50%, which is a 726 at the next movement. Okay, so this is the two line where we are looking at. This is the two line where we are looking at. Okay, for the next week on the register itself. So I just make things easy. All right, I like to keep my chart clean and neat. Okay, this is where we will be looking at for the next support level for Nvidia. All right, this is quite near, but the next one will be here. All right, so let me do some writing. Okay, 21st April. So next support around 7:30. Second support around 6:70. All right, so that's it for my view for Nvidia itself. Okay, so I'm not going to write much. I believe you all watch this video. How do we actually derive? But if you have questions like how do I draw my Fibonacci? Why do I put my high and low in that level? If you want to learn more, you can go to my course to learn from that. All I shared in my video for all my weekly, all my skill set will be shared there. You will learn how to chart yourself. Okay, going forward. So otherwise, you will be surprised if you learn. There you will see how come I know AMD and I bias AMD on the downside, dropping to close to 145 in the first place. This is 145. The last Friday, the low for AMD, we can see that it went to 145.29 cents. Okay, it's just 29 cents shy of my support level, and I believe it may continue to drop, especially next week is the AMD earnings. Okay, yes, the earnings may be like Netflix, report good earning, but the market, if let's say don't buy the story, feeling that is the forward guidance by the company is not showing a good sign, it may just simply breach 145 by next week. It's so that easy. Okay, but how do I actually know why do I chart 145 last week that AMD will drop? What is the reason for it to go down? I think I did stated in my Facebook page. Alright, China's focus on phasing out American chips. And I mentioned this is something linked to fundamental itself really. Alright, it's not on the chart. If let's say the business is out, there's no growth in the business, definitely it will impact the business itself and of course the earnings and the numbers games, right? Alright, so all these will be taught in the course if let's say you're really keen, how do we spot all these things. Okay, so next we'll be sharing let me see, which is QQQ. Alright, QQQ, I did draw somewhere, correct or not? I don't know. This is, I draw previously. Alright, this is since here, I think it's 8th of April. Go and watch the video. But nicely, it came here. Alright, so our next support for QQQ is 410. And then you will breach even lower. Alright, this is 2022. Alright, this is very low. So next support is 410. Then after that, we will see the moving average of 200 days came into game. Alright, which is around 3 or 400 round figure. Okay, so QQQ, 21st April. Next support 410, follow by 400. 200 days moving average. Okay, so that is my view for QQQ. All right, so let's see what else. Okay, oil. A lot of people want to watch out for oil, right? Oil, I mentioned. I think I look something like I bias on the upside because of the war. Where's my latest update? I can't find. Okay, 12 Feb, March. Okay, I think this is the 6th of April. Alright, it's somewhere here. Alright, after the breakout, I say next resistance is 92 followed by 100. Yes, if you enter in, nothing wrong. I mean, if let's say you look at long term, this is weekly, right? But of course, pullback does play in game, right? So it pull back and is well supported around 80 to 81. It used to be the previous resistance. Alright, I'll be writing 80, 81. You see, view same as before, must break 81 before we set the oil to 90 and 92. Correct or not? So it go up, pull back. So what's next? Yes, usually if it's well supported, we will still continue to bias on the upside. Okay, so I just want to, this is the Fed, no point looking at it right now. So 16, 23rd, 2nd March, just put here first. All right. So I know what is going on my writing. Correct or not? Follow closely. 21st April 2023. 2024. Oops, I think there's something wrong. This is the typo here. Okay. So 21st April 2024. Oil price pull back to previous resistance around 80/81. Eyeing for support before market continue its uptrend to resistance around. Okay, so that is my view for oil. All right, for Israel and Iran, I don't think it will so fast end. All right, since the war missile fight, we know what is happening to Russia at the moment. It still continue, so I don't think it ends so easily. And just simply another missile will really shoot oil up to the other level again. All right, so we can simply just look at the day. Can you see that? The oil, because of the Iran news, there's missile flying Friday, it actually shoot up all the way to 85 and close back. All right, but it's not below where it opened, slightly higher than where it opened. It opened at 81.92, it closed at 82.07. Okay, so you can see that the volatility when there's speculation, there's rumor on the news, or just one missile will actually spike the whole counter of oil itself. Okay, so that's all for next week. All right, next week we'll be monitoring some other counters. Okay, of course there are other counters we'll be sharing, but that is more for inside group. If you wish to join me, just go to my website and subscribe to any of the course, whether the beginner or the advanced. I will say that take up the package, you will learn the correct way. It will save you a lot in the making mistake in the market itself, losing a lot of money, just simply my cost fee, which is relatively low in the market itself. Okay, so that's all for this week with the market update. Thank you, and remember to share and like. Bye bye.